Hey, what's good, fam?
What's up, everybody?
I'm Chasten.
And I'm Janet.
And we are back for another Friday.
Yay!
Yes, and excited about it.
Yeah, so guess what today? We are talking about how we paid cash money for a nice cash car. But before we hop into the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel because this is where you want to be if you are in need of motivation during your debt-free journey.
Yes.
We're here to root you on, to cheer you on, to encourage you throughout your journey so that you can keep pushing and never let off the gas.
Yes, I love it. And so let's hop into the content for today, fam. So today, again, we're talking about how we paid cash for our car. And we want to be clear just from the jump that this is our process. This is how we did it. It's not necessarily the only way that it can be done, not the fail-proof way that it can be done. It's just our way. It's just how we did it, our story, our journey. And so we always want to do these videos to show just the other side of the debt-free journey beyond becoming debt-free and how we live life. And so in this video, we want to break this down into two parts. We want to talk about the financial process that we went through, and we also want to talk about the research process. So we want to see, how did you save for it, but then how did you research? How did you go about the process of actually securing the vehicle?
That's right.
And so let's start with the financial process. So it can be broken down into three parts. Essentially, what we did to save for this car and to pay cash for it. First, we simply set aside money each month to pay for the vehicle, right?
Absolutely, that's right. So we had gotten out of debt. We paid off all of our debt. And then we decided we were going to stick to the same exact budget that we were grinding out the whole time that we were getting out of debt. So all of the money that was going towards debt when we were in debt was now getting put towards the purchase of a new car. And so we stayed below our means, and we decided, you know what, we're not going to inch up these levels or this budget item. We're going to keep everything the exact same as if we were still in debt, and we're going to throw it all towards savings so that we can purchase a cash car.
Yes. So that was the first part. We simply saved money each month. The second thing is we used our tax refund. Okay, so we knew that we were going to be getting a refund of some sort, and so we sort of knew what that amount was going to be, and so we used that chunk of money for the car as well. So in addition to saving a lot of money, we had this refund that we were able to use. And then the third thing is during our entire debt-free journey, we were living 1 month ahead. So what this means is we had a month's worth of buffer in between us and the expenses of the month that we were living in. So what this looks like is during August, we were actually living off of the money that was made in July. Okay, so we were living a month ahead. So what we decided to do when we were paying for this car is to completely get rid of the buffer and to begin making money within the month and paying our expenses within the same month. All right, so that opened up thousands of dollars just by taking that buffer. And so we were able to take that buffer, take the tax refund and the money that we were saving each month and throw that towards the purchase of our vehicle. So that was the financial process. It wasn't anything super outlandish, super special. It was just us being strategic with our money.
Absolutely.
Right?
That was it.
Yep. And so that's the financial process. Part two. Let's talk about the research process. So what we did as we were preparing to purchase this vehicle, the first thing that we did is we decided that we needed to compile a list of the vehicles that we were even interested in purchasing.
That's
right?
Yes.
And Janet had an amazing wealth of knowledge in this regard because of her work.
Right. So the type of work that I did, I was a manager of a rental car agency, and so I knew a lot about cars because of that experience for 2.5 years. And so I knew right off the top of my head, sometimes Chasten would come with, oh, what about this car? And I'd be like, oh no, we are never going to get one of those. And then when he asked about, certain other cars, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. That's a great car. We don't ever have issues with those cars. And so because of that wealth of knowledge that I gained through the workplace, we were able to condense our list to the cars that we knew were dependable. that were affordable,
Yep.
and that would give us the most bang for our buck.
Yep. And specifically, we knew that we were looking for a full-size vehicle.
Right.
We knew that we were looking for a family car.
Absolutely.
And so that was part of the criteria. It had to be budget friendly. We knew
Right.
what the number was. We knew that we were looking for a certain mileage
Right.
amount, or maximum mileage amount. And then, we wanted it to be a reliable, dependable vehicle.
Absolutely.
And so we were able to narrow down and to sort of have a small list that we were able to use for our research purposes.
That's right.
And so once we had that in place, we were able to take advantage of some just amazing tools that were there to help us do research. So we did a ton of research.
Absolutely.
So we used consumer reports, which allowed us to get consumer reviews on the vehicles over, since they were made and such. And so that was an amazing resource, consumerreports.org. We also used the cars.com app. We also used AutoTrader, the AutoTrader app, and both of those allowed us to search via our, to use our criteria to search for certain vehicles in our area.
Right.
And then the last particular resource that we used was the Carfax app. And so the Carfax app was huge.
Yeah.
Right?
Carfax is a game changer because
Yeah.
you literally find out the nitty gritty details about the car.
Yep.
And so that's a game changer. That's a must have.
Yep.
That's a must have. You got to have Carfax.
Yep. The next step was like when we would find a particular vehicle, we would actually go to that dealership. And there were some specific ways that we wanted to do this. We wanted to go together. If at all possible, we wanted to go to the dealership together. And there were a few things that were on our radar. Hey, can both of us test drive this vehicle? Not just one of us, both of us. Can both of us test drive this vehicle? Because we wanted to each of us feel and hear the vehicle for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay? And then, we wanted to know, is it okay once, if we're like, yeah, we like this vehicle, can we take this vehicle to a trusted mechanic?
That's right.
And then the third thing is like, hey, let's talk price. We wanted to know what the financial discussion was going to be.
Absolutely.
And so that brings us to the financial discussion, which is all about sticking to our budget.
Sticking to your guns on the budget.
Absolutely.
Too. So we went in there and we're like, this is what we want to pay. And if they were acting like they couldn't do it, we literally would say, bro, it's okay. We know you gotta feed your family. You gotta eat. If you can't take this price, it's okay. We're not upset.
Right.
Our feelings aren't hurt. You have to do your job, and we have a job to do as well, and that's to stick to our budget. So, you have to stick to your guns, and it's okay. People respect the fact that if you do that, don't go in there trying to terrorize a car salesman and trying to make him feel bad.
Right,
but if you can't do a certain price, it's okay. Respectfully tell them, I know you gotta eat. If you can't take this price, that's okay.
And walk away.
Even if they say, oh, but if you can add $500 more, we can do it. Don't fall into it. You know what you can afford. You know how much cash you have. Stick to your guns.
Absolutely.
Stick to your guns.
And so, we would walk away from vehicles,
Right.
if the price wasn't right, and in addition to that, if we felt any hint of like manipulation, or if we felt like any dealership was like trying to get over on us, man, we would just walk away.
That's a done
deal.
deal.
It was done.
It's a done
deal.
deal.
So it was sort of like, this sort of felt aspect of the search where we're feeling out the experience, and if this just doesn't feel right, deuces. We're gone
real fast.
Yep. And so that brings us to the next step. Once we would identify a vehicle, the price is right, we're gonna move, potentially move forward, we had to do the mechanic thing.
Absolutely.
Take the vehicle to a trusted mechanic. And so we, in our search, we did that 3 times,
Three
right?
times.
Yep.
Ooh, Lord, that was...
Yes. And so the first time, get this, we took it to a trusted mechanic in the town that I was working in. And it was a place that, we felt comfortable with and all of that good stuff. And so they looked at the vehicle, but we found out when I was driving the vehicle back, found out that this particular vehicle had transmission issues.
Yes.
And that this particular make and model had very expensive transmission issues.
Right.
Super specific transmission issues. So we said no to that vehicle. Second vehicle we took to a trusted mechanic that was a friend of our friend. Okay, so we took it there. They looked over the vehicle and just came back and they were like, man, this vehicle looks like it has been driven
Somebody
roughly.
drove that thing to the core.
Yes. Right?
It didn't sound like that.
It did not sound like that, but they were able to see things and hear things that we didn't see. So we said no to that vehicle. And then the third place, we found this place because the car was actually away from where we were living. So we found this place, this mechanic through reviews. So we looked up local reviews and we were like, okay, we need a solid place to take the vehicle. And so I called the place and I'm talking to the person who is going to actually walk the vehicle. And the dude sounded very accommodating, sounded like very professional. I'm going to do a thorough job. It was a good feel. And then I knew that Janet was going to fill it out once she got there. So we took it there and they checked it out. Everything fell in place and we moved on the vehicle.
Yes.
But before we talk about where we landed, let's talk about the last thing. The last part that was central to our research process was prayer.
Yes. So as believers, we want to acknowledge the Lord before we move on anything, especially a purchase that big. You want to acknowledge the Lord in all your ways and all of your dealings, but when it comes to things like that, it's like, all right, Lord, I really need to make sure this is airtight, and this is okay. So, so we spent time in prayer, and we always pray that the Lord would make things abundantly clear to us.
Yes.
Not just for big purchases, but for just decisions in life in general. We want the Lord to make things abundantly clear. And also, we always pray for peace.
Yep.
And so anytime that we are not feeling peace about a situation, we just won't move.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. Like, we're not going to jump and do anything without having peace about the situation. And so as believers, take advantage of prayer. We take advantage of prayer. Yeah.
So that was huge for us. And if you've been on the channel any amount of time, you know that our motto is hustle, grind, pray.
Yes.
And for us, the biggest piece of that is the prayer part. It's like, yes, hustle. Yes, grind, do what you're supposed to do, but like pray. And that's central to just who we are. And so I just had to include that in the process of, our research process.
Right.
Like, it's just what we did, right?
And we ended up getting an awesome car. We got a Honda Accord.
2008 Honda Accord.
And guess what, y'all? I had prayed. I was like, if it's possible, Lord, I would like a sunroof and leather interior, if it's possible. I know our price range, and the Lord hooked us up.
Yes.
Got sunroof, leather interior,
heated seats,
boy, in a 2008.
Yeah, so it was, it was an amazing experience. We learned a lot, and we're grateful for this 2008 Honda Accord. And as you can tell, fam, we're all about saving money, getting a solid, reliable vehicle. Not gonna go extravagant. We're gonna stay within our budget and stay in our lane. And do what we do. So fam, if this was helpful, definitely like the video. Let us know. We love that feedback. If this is something that you feel like would be beneficial to people that you're connected to, definitely share with them. And then, of course, comment, talk to us. We love to interact with you all.
Yes.
Well, fam, we are done, and man, we're already looking forward to next Friday. Until then, remember to hustle, grind, pray. We love y'all.
Peace.